Okay, we got 7.6, adding and subtracting polynomials. Okay, so the main thing to remember here is this is really just collecting like terms. That's all it is collecting like terms. So if you want to do it vertically, okay, we line our terms up vertically. Okay, and then it's just collecting like terms. So we're adding. So negative 3x squared plus 9x squared would give us 6x squared. Negative 6x minus 8x would be negative 14x. 9 minus 14 would be negative 5. So really all this is collecting like terms. Okay. Or you could do this horizontally. Okay, you could do this horizontally. So if I wanted to do this horizontally, okay. Sorry about the delay there. We'll go with some nice blue. So horizontally, I've got this chunk plus this other chunk. So I'm just adding the two polynomials, collect like terms. So I've got 17x squared plus negative 18x squared would give me negative x squared. I'm done with those. I've got negative 9x plus 7x. That'd be negative 2x. Done with those. Then I got negative 4 plus 1. That's negative 3. Notice I put them in descending order according to their exponents. Standard form of a polynomial. So degree 2, degree 1, degree 0. Or quadratic, linear, constant, as we learned last lesson. So subtracting. So you have a couple of options. You can either subtract the like terms, or you can change them all to the opposite of what their sign is, and change this to add. In other words, slash and dash. That's what I'd do if I were you. So instead of subtracting all these, I'm going to change them all. 9x squared becomes negative 9x squared. That becomes positive 8x. Then that becomes positive 14. Now I'm going to add. So I slashed and dashed all of them so I don't make mistakes later. So negative 3x squared minus 9x squared would be negative 12x squared. Negative 6x plus 8x would be plus 2x. 9 plus 14, 23. Descending order according to the x, standard form. So if you're going to subtract, once again, you've got a few different options. Horizontally or vertically. So I'm going to go ahead and change all these. This becomes negative 7x plus 18x squared minus 1. So I slashed and dashed. So now I'm going to go ahead and do these horizontally, even though I prefer vertically, just to show you horizontally here. So I've got 17x squared plus 18x squared, 35x squared. I'm done with those. I see negative 9x minus 7x. That'd be negative 16x. Then I see minus 4 minus 1. That's negative 5. Standard form of a polynomial. So once again, you can distribute the negative. So that creates negative 7xy plus 18x cubed plus, minus 1 plus y squared. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write the terms over here that match up with the other guys to make it easy on myself. So over here I see 17x squared y. I don't see another x squared y term, so I know he's going to be the only one. 17x squared y. I see an xy term here, so I'm going to line up this guy with him, minus 7xy. I see a y squared term. There's a y squared term over here, plus y squared. Then I know this guy's going to be by himself, and the constant is going to be by himself. So let's see what we have here. That gives us negative 16xy right here. That gives us negative 3y squared. But we can't forget about our two guys over here. They stay the same since there's no other like terms to collect with them. Let's make sure we're in descending order here. Here's an x squared term. Here's an x term, a y squared, another x squared. So this guy actually needs to move down over here so he'll be in standard form. So the y's really don't matter as long as the x squareds go first. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 18x squared first. Then the 17x squared y. Then I see an x to the first power there, minus 16xy. I see a y squared. He doesn't even have an x. And then by custom, the constant goes last. So there's your final answer. So an application problem for perimeter of a triangle. You know what perimeter is? Add all the sides. Well, we know the perimeter here, and we know two of the sides. So we need to find the third side. So we'll take the total, and we'll subtract the other two sides. So I could subtract the first side, and then subtract the second side, and then whatever I have left, that's the answer. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to add these two, and then subtract that entire chunk. So if I add these two together, I'm going to get 11x squared minus 8 plus 2 minus 6x plus 4. So that's the total of the two sides. So now I need to subtract that entire chunk from the total perimeter. That's 12x squared minus 7x plus 9. So we've got 12x squared minus 11x squared. Then we've got negative 7x minus negative, so plus 6x. Negative 7 plus 6 would be negative 1. Then I've got 9 minus the 4. That would give me 5. Or you can do like we talked about earlier and go through, slash and dash all these, change them all, and then collect. Of course, you would use an eraser. So there's the missing side. Here's a little review problem just to make sure you remember what we did last time. So if you want, pause right now, do this problem just as a little check. Positive 3, because I just flipped it. So that's c to the 9th. And I don't know what negative 2,187 cubed is, but I know it's negative something. So I'm just going to put negative 2187 cubed. A to the 39th. And that would be your final answer. Hope you enjoyed that one.